In today's gospel, we see something powerful from Jesus. Jesus calls the apostles to come aside and rest a while. But when they do go to rest, they come upon people who Mark describes as like sheep without a shepherd. And so much for their rest, they come to minister to them. That's a very difficult position to be in. And sometimes as priests, we find it virtually impossible, especially when we've been under a lot of stress. And many priests in our country over the past 10 years have been under a tremendous amount of stress. But one of the things that we look at in light of that particular passage is what happens if we're not around? What happens if all of a sudden people who have a tremendous desire to see the Catholic Church go away get their wish? You see, we look at what Jesus is calling you and I to do. We're called to be, as the body of Christ, shepherd to others, especially those who are like sheep without shepherds. When we look at the story of the gospel, we can see that they seek out Jesus. Why? Because Jesus gives them what they can find nowhere else. And we have people around us who are in exactly that position. Now, it's important for us to work with our society, but you know what? There are things that our government doesn't do that many people need. Not the least of which is we can see that Jesus can give people food for the soul, and he calls us to do the same. Pope Benedict XVI, in his book on Jesus Christ, talks about how Jesus rejects the temptation to turn the rocks into bread. And by that, he says, he rejects that temptation to make it that everything is all about what it is we need externally. But he says, no, we also need that which is food for the soul. And you and I are called to give that. You can give someone all the creature comforts they want, but if they don't have that food for the soul, then their soul is not nourished and they die. And you and I are called to give that very food for the soul. And what is that food for the soul? It's an aspect of love. It's a transformational aspect of love. Some people can receive it. Others, we try to give it, and they push us away. Maybe they'll get it from somebody else. But they cannot get that food for the soul from those who refuse to give it. And so in our society, we see those people who are like sheep without a shepherd. There was kind of an interesting aspect that happened in light of this several years ago. There were several groups that were involved in trying to stage a coup of the Catholic Church with the full blessing of some of the media outlets, especially here in the Boston area. And that was their goals, very stated in their websites. We seek to stage a coup of the Catholic Church. And one of the things I noticed about especially one particular group, their ministry was to one another, and so they didn't reach out. And the dead giveaway that I said, this is a problematic group, no prison ministry. You see, prisoners are called also to be loved by God. And when they said, you could see they had no prison ministry, you have to turn around and say, they don't understand this. Because everyone is seeking that food. And if all you do is give the food for the body and not for the soul, then you miss the point of what it means to be a shepherd. But that goes the same for us. You and I are called to be people of faith who live our faith in such a way that we nourish those who are seeking to know that food. Maybe all we can do is pray, but that's powerful. Maybe all we can do is smile when no one else is smiling, but that's powerful. Maybe there are those we know who live this that can put their very lives on the line in celebration for that, and that's obviously powerful. But all of it, all the different aspects are powerful. And without that, we cannot fully comprehend what it means to be a shepherd that we as body of Christ are called. There are many people that want to silence our voice. There are many people that want the church to go away. But can those people be shepherds to those who are like sheep without a shepherd? And if we're not being shepherds to those who are like sheep without a shepherd, then we might as well go away. God bless you.